Hello, everybody, and welcome along to Steakdorra the Explorers, REL 1 and 2A div reviews. This is week 6, if I'm counting correctly. I always question whether I'm right or not, but that's because I don't ever believe myself when I talk about things.
Oh,
but I think that's right.
I was gonna make my usual several math degrees jokes, but now you just made it sad.
I mean, counting isn't really math.
I know. Again, we have this interaction at least once a week.
That's true. So we're doing it a bit late, because yesterday was some sort of weird French holiday that you participated in, if I recall correctly.
More or less. Yeah.
And we're also a bit early, so late on the day, early on the time, but that's just because of other things that are scheduled for Thursdays. So, I hope that those of you who are here get to be here, and if you're watching this later, I'm sorry you weren't here at the normal time, but turns out we're humans that have lives and sometimes have to schedule these things differently. But we are going to be looking at results and predicting weeks. Spoiler alert, we did so bad at predicting this week.
Nice.
Literally every match wrong, I think, is what happened. It was pretty bad. Although one of the matches that didn't happen because we predicted oppositely, so it is impossible for both of us to be wrong. Unless they tie, but then we don't get points anyway, so who cares? Is in REL.
Only one tie this week. It was a good week for real games. That's and not true. Cowards. I say having intentionally tied several times.
Me too. It's also a big one. It's in REL 1. It's between two coaches that are near the top of the table. Both have a reputation for being good and are kind of expected to be near the top of the table. So I think it's one that should be fun to take a look at. And that's going to be Luminous and Stouticus. I can pull that up if you'd like. So I predicted Stouticus and you predicted Luminous, I think.
Yes, I do distinctly remember. I think Stouticus should win, but I'm tired of not picking Lumi and then losing points.
Yeah.
Which, we'll see.
I just sort of expected the Nurgle to sort of beat a lot of vampires to death and not be punished too hard by vampire nonsense, because Stouticus is pretty good at, positioning and stuff, so he's not one to overcommit to that kind of stuff. So he has, if a Nurgle coach is going to do well against vampires, I would imagine it'd be one that has that sort of balance. But anyway, do you want to just get into it and start with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are in the game. The pop-ups have finally stopped. A new clan season has started, for those of you who are unaware. But I'm a clan leader, so I get added to all the boards of all the different clan-like sub-competitions, and removed from all the ones that were from last season. So I logged into Blood Bowl, and it was just like, you were added to this league, you were removed from this league, you were added to this league, you were removed from this league for like 5 minutes. And
I'm not. I was a commissioner in some of them because I was a deputy, but they took that away last season, I think, because I wasn't a deputy in Rotter.
Yeah, they are. They have deputies again still, but we don't have an official one. So,
I mean, most of my team are admins. So
yeah. So that was fun. Yeah, the pop-ups have stopped, and I'm good to go. 3, 2, 1, go. Luminous has got a huge bench, as vampires are wont to do. There are 4 thralls on the side there.
Grungy Desserts chose to kick, so choosing to defend first versus vampires.
It's probably not terrible, because vampires have the sort of offense problem. Certainly, they're not as good at offense as they are at defense. And so I think the Nurgle are kind of hoping that Luminous is either forced to score quickly, and then we can attempt to do a 2-1 grind, or if he doesn't score very quickly, it's probably because we're beating all the vampires to death, and then that will make our touchdown easier later.
That's fair. Leader is a double for thralls, right? Yeah,
correct.
It is. So that is a thrall who took leader as a double.
Yep. And that makes sense on vampires. I mean, it's money saving. He's going to die eventually because he's a thrall, but it means you don't have to. You're paying 30k for a double.
Perfect defense is a big deal here.
You're paying 30k for a double instead of like 70 or whatever it is for an actual.
That's
reroll.
Where the Beast of Nurgle goes. This is. I mean, some might say that a blitz would be slightly better, and I mean that is strictly speaking true. But it's only slightly better against. When you're a bash team and you get perfect D against a less bashy team, a team that you can all mans on pretty aggressively.
Hey, you know what vampires rely on for their mobility? The answer is thralls. There are now 6 thralls on strength 5 tentacles.
Yep. Pro doing a thing there, saving him from a bloodlust. We're going to immediately come in here for a blitz onto the guard Rotter, rather. And then we're going to come in and try to hypnogaze something, and we do. We hypnogaze the guard. This is the problem, of course, with going all mans against
Hypnogaze
vampires,
the guard,
is that it's very easy for them if they can make a couple of good rolls to nullify your benefits. Okay, so he does have to bite this thrall, though, so he's got no one in the backfield now to support him.
It is the vampire sort of
an injury.
Blessing and curse in that, if the dice rolls go well there, Lumi counters the sort of perfect defense pretty well. If that hypnogaze doesn't happen, doesn't work, he's getting a bunch of guys claw mighty blowed next turn. And
Great one die wrestle there. He's got to protect the spell, doesn't he? No, I guess this Nurgle warrior is out of range because Nurgle warriors are stupid. Goes for a red die.
Yeah, there's not a single player on Lumi's team that's actually in the range or in range as far as I can tell.
The Rotter can one die him. The Rotters can get around.
Can they?
Totally be hit by Rotters. Yeah.
No, that Rotter can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Rotters are moving 6, aren't they?
They're 5.
Oh, they're moving 5. So this one, the dirty player can one die him.
Yes. No, uphill because it's a vampire.
Oh. Can you not get an assist?
I mean, you can get assists with the other Rotters or the Nurgle warriors doing double GFIs.
The Beast of Nurgle will do it, technically speaking.
I don't know if that's worth doing.
Goes for a hit on a vampire instead. Does have tackle, so does get him down.
I think I'd rather take the claw, the mighty blow hit on a vamp, than roll 8 GFIs
really
to get a 2 on the ball. Or bad, depending on what your perspective is.
Everyone hates Nurgle, Ben. You need to accept this. Internalize it.
That's not true, because people hate Chorfs more. You get to be the good guy when you play against Chorfs, which is fun. Because
and you beat them up, and everyone's like, yay, Nurgle!
Yeah, that's fair. You get to be the good guy in that one matchup.
Got a decent... No, this isn't a decent foul on the... Yeah, we're going to go base him up instead, just to force something. I like this position. He's going to get blitzed off, of course, but...
It's still dice. It's another bloodlust. It's another block. It's a way to try to force Lumi to roll dice and maybe go through his resources.
Stun on the DP is nice there, given that you have a stunned vampire. You can't do anything to save, so he's not going to be taking a DP hit next turn.
He might take a regular foul, but...
There. Yeah, but I mean, a foul onto a regen piece. Not the most value, but...
Yeah, that's true. Killing a vampire is good.
First dodge is a failed dodge. Uses the reroll.
He's got 5.
Yeah, he didn't want to be based up here.
I think, was he hittable?
Okay, maybe the tentacles failed the dodge. It's a bingo square.
Bonk. Bingo square. Yeah, if he didn't have that thrall in the way, that vampire had nowhere to go.
I mean, he can actually be hit, I think. I think there's the Nurgle Warrior can one die him now. Or no, this is a movement 3 need a Nurgle Warrior, isn't it?
Yes.
No, it's not. He can hit him.
No.
He'd have to dodge. He'd have to dodge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No.
He can double GFI with
that
even
Nurgle
flam.
Warrior. Yeah, I was looking at the Guard Mighty Blow.
He's got a... Oh no, he doesn't need to cut the corner. I'm lying. He can just walk through here.
Yeah, you can just go one die him, which is probably worth doing.
Ooh, 2 die him now. Come on and slam.
And welcome to Japan.
First GFI is good. Second one is bad. Rerolls it, gets it the second time, barely.
You are ever so slightly ahead, but we've seen a lot of failures so far. GFI, dodge failures.
Yeah, both teams have not been doing amazing. The Vamps, I think, have been doing a bit worse, especially given that their first Bloodlust was a Kaz. Is a really real bad luck there.
That's true. He's got 4 blood bags on the sidelines to bring on for...
I mean, it's more about removals this half, but yeah.
Late night snacks.
Great scatter for the Nurgle into 2 tackle zones, so going to be tough to recover this for the Vampires. I say kind of chuckling because Vampires can always recover. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be... If one of 2 Hypnogaze work, then it's still just a 3+.
Fro has been really showing the value here, where it kind of gets these free. Ooh, nice, comes in. Gets the Rodder down.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty easy 2-die. If the Hypno Gaze worked, which it did, you could then have a 2-die to pick up the ball. Vampires fall over so quickly. Like the GFI failures, they just go
speedy animations. Yeah.
It's like banana peel, like in cartoons level of quickly hitting the floor.
It's not often you get to base up a claw mighty blow tackle Nurgle warrior and assume that he won't be able to do anything other than red die you.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it turns out Emmanuel Macaron is pretty good.
Yeah. It's a tough ask for the Nurgle to get even an ooh, dub skull there. Both teams rolling like ass, to be honest. Though the Vamps did pull off that little maneuver there, but it wasn't really that much dice.
Wrestle also being super annoying right now.
Oh, that 1 in 36 into 1 in 9, it just makes Crab Louie excellent. He took down even Flan for a whole turn, and once Nurgle warriors go down, they don't get up in a hurry.
No, they get up, but they don't go anywhere. It's the sort of Chorp thing where they can be taken out of the fight for like 2 turns just by hitting the floor.
That does give him a 2-die actually, but it was onto Blodge.
I love Luminous's names. Like, so he tries hard on all the vampires to get like political leaders with foods, and then just gives up on the thralls and just names them after random things like fish and chips.
Throws the tentacles to get away with.
And bombaloni.
Okay.
It pleases me greatly because it's very funny to see. I like the 3.
Interesting that he hypnoed and blocked. I would have thought he'd go hit the Pestigore, but I'm wrong, I guess.
I mean, I guess theoretically you probably should have hit the Pestigore there. Oh, he's going to blitz himself.
And why did he go? Oh, okay. He's just running backwards, I guess. Made the tentacles fail to dodge. Jesus Christ.
You were ahead. I feel like that was more, dice than was necessary to get him where he was. But I think he was planning on not having the Hypnogaze work, and then it did work, and was like, oh, right. But
I think he didn't. It was a choice between hitting a rookie Pestigore and potentially leaving a rookie Pestigore on you, or leaving the Nurgle warrior on you. So the reason he did the Hypno was in case the stink failed. Ooh,
and the other aspect of that too is that by doing it this way, Bombaloni is dead. I just talked about how I like that name. I guess he still lives, just on the other team
elsewhere. Yeah.
The other part about, I was gonna say the other part about that is not having your vampire based up on Claw Mighty Blow afterwards, because if you just Hypnogaze the warrior,
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
And it shows that was a good choice. I mean, post action analysis is bad, but that
we don't know what the regen was going to be.
It was going to be a 3 because the next thing that was rolled was a 3.
Well, could have been he would have appoed it too.
That's true.
So the appo would have been a 3.
Well, no, because the appo's it's a D8 for the injuries or whatever, right?
Isn't it a D6 into a D8?
Oh, probably. So whatever. I don't know how it works with appos. I play Nurgle.
No team can dodge.
Nope. Nobody can dodge. Dodging is
rerolls have been useful. Ooh, gets him down on a POW. Ooh, and a break. That's huge.
Oh, that's a big deal. I mean, we are in Lumi's drive, and the Nurgle have the ball on the floor, like in scoring range and in 0 tackle zones. They can't reach it right now, but if anything goes wrong for the Vampires next turn, this could just be a Nurgle touchdown. Like anything.
Yeah.
And if there's any team where you can expect at least one thing to go wrong, it's on Vampires.
He does have 2 rerolls left, and Stauticus has 0. So this is possible still. Ooh, Pro is just being the MVP. Holy shit!
Yeah, if that Hypnogaze didn't go off, we'd have both, and then those Vampires would have to make a bunch of extra
that would have
rolls.
been committed. That would have been committing the reroll. Like, well, I guess no, because he committed the Pro. So.
No. Right, but like he would have had to roll dice to do that. Like it would have been 2 extra die rolls on top of the one you already had to make to do anything here. Which is pretty terrifying.
Clears things out of the way, picks it up on the Blodge Stepper.
Yeah, the Nurgle, I mean they can 2-die it, or they can 2-die it. Not easily. Or they can 2-die it pretty easily. But it's on Blodge Step, and
No, they can't. They can't 2-die this.
with the Oh,
No, because they can't get an assist.
they have the other.
And
Oh, they can get the. Yeah, they can.
oh no, they can. They can. You're right.
You take
Yes,
the
from
rotter
that
here,
angle.
and then you put the blitzer, or you do the blitz from here.
Why did he not blitz the ball?
I don't know, but he could have had a 2-die.
Yeah, he had a 2-die on the ball. Maybe he didn't believe in it.
Well, it's a 2-die against blodge step, where there's a possibility that it just scatters really far out. But like, you have to take that risk, because if you just worry about it scattering out, you're never going to pick up the ball ever. Well, we also started really early, Sarikata, because I asked to, because I have other things that I do on Thursday evenings, which is why we normally do stuff on Wednesdays.
Leader going down to a claw mighty blow. Totally fine. That's why he's the leader. Beast being stupid. Big deal, obviously.
Beast has been stupid
I'm a
like
fan of
3
obvious
turns.
statements. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Beast has been
He's
real
eaten
dumb.
a couple of hypno gazes, which have been very important, but that's about it.
Man, I wish I had Nurgle Warriors.
They are nice pieces. Goes up to the rotter. He's just blitzing a rotter every single turn, which I understand, but like...
That's the easy choice there. Uh-oh.
That's a failed dodge. Rerolls that. He has been, for the record, in I have no thralls, I just have to not Bloodlust land for a while, and he hasn't failed a Bloodlust. Yeah.
He's also been, well, he has, but he's pro'd them. And he's also been in his own half for 6 turns. Like, he hasn't crossed
I mean, I'm
LOS or
not saying he is, like, dicing anyone. I'm just saying that he has been very much in, like, oh fuck, Vampire Land, and things have gone okay.
We're very much in the roll dice and hope it works sort of vampire territory. Or, like, mostly it's just you can't play the way you'd like to. Like, you can't play super safe with the thralls because you don't have that option. So you just kind of have to do the thing where you hope it works because you don't really have many other choices. And just accept and trying to do that in the best way you can. Making sure that your vampire actions count and you do the important things first is a big deal here. So Lumi, you have to play
I think
extra
he
careful.
fucked this up a bit. This rotter needed to be 1 square to the left to reasonably block in anyone here. There's an easy 2+ out now.
For the vampire, I see.
Going after the ball.
The strength 5.
Doesn't get him because blodge. Just kidding, it was a double push anyway.
Well, he's now on tentacles, but it turns out he's a strength 4 on strength 5, so it's, you know.
Well, I mean, also there's a 2+ with no built-in rules. A 2+2+ hypno gaze to get him off.
Oh yeah, with the wait, no, there isn't an agi vamp, is there?
There's a strength up vamp right there.
That's not agi. Oh, you're talking about blitzing, not hypnogazing.
No, you can hypno gaze.
Yeah, but it's not a 2+.
I said the 2+2+ is the bloodlust.
Oh,
dodge.
bloodlust dodge. I for some reason I forgot
you can just
bloodlust
blitz.
existed. Although stand firm is a thing.
Foul appearance makes the tentacles. And that was a lot of okay. Doesn't snake the GFI.
Oh boy, we are in potato vampire land.
Well, he's now out of blitzing range from the only. That's not true. The wrestle tackle piece can totally hit him.
Yeah, with the thrall assist.
With a single GFI, from a person with no rerolls, what could go wrong?
He's gonna fail the GFI.
I like cursing people.
He's going to fail the GFI.
He didn't. Just double pushed.
Oh. Well, that's almost the same.
75% of the time it works, none of the time.
Well, now we have a 2+2+ to score, and with no way of re-rolling either of them. Well, pro, I guess.
Yeah,
pro and dodge, so it's pretty likely to work still.
No, not dodge, because he's got...
Oh, he's on tackle. Yeah. Well, we've got pro. 2+2+.
I know something about losing games on 2+2+ rolls.
I don't. What are 2+s?
I don't know. The thing I fail first action, turn 1, in my game versus Rolling Red.
Well, this didn't really work out.
He needs to... That's better. It means it's now a 3+.
Yeah. 2+3+.
I know he can do a 1 die. Does he now have to throw an extra GFI? Yes. So now it's a 2+2+2+ instead. And he makes it. No pro needed.
Nope. This is
So it's 1-0 to Lumi after all of that.
no, and that didn't that really didn't go the way Stouticus wanted to. He was kind of hoping that either we'd get a Lumi would feel like he had to score and we'd get a quick score followed by like a 2-1 grind, or like a long drawn out half where he just got to beat things to death. And he got like 2 thrall injuries out of it, but that's not really as many as you'd kind of like as Nurgle when you're trying to get through as much bench as possible. And he has 4 bench. Like Lumi is still going into this with 11 players. I feel like you are looking a few hours into the future. Although the other thing is, like, that could have so easily been absolutely terrible for Lumi if any one of those, like, bloodlusts were just ones, right? Like, because he had no rerolls and no thralls available to bite for most of that because they were all tied up. So like, if he had rolled anything badly there, that could have instantly switched. Like
Lumi's dice came back to a certain extent after that really rough start, and it turns out when Nurgle have bad dice and vampires have bad dice, Nurgle run out of rerolls first.
Yes.
So it works out a little bit in their favor.
And it's not so much that like anything that Lumi was doing was particularly hard and he was like lucky for having had it work. It was just more that like the failure state for almost everything he did, like he had no option to do these things, but the failure state for most of it was really bad, right? Like if he ever bloodlusted with that potatoing vamp, the drive is over. There's no way to recover it. It's just over, right? So that's more what the problem was. Oh. Okay, well, that was the, like, most unnecessary pitch invasion. Like, it didn't do anything. We do get to see if we get any injuries on some thralls, though. Here's the second attempt. We don't get the 3-die with the beast, I guess. We're going to have to blitz with something, but that's probably fine.
1 KO, not bad. Will the third give us anything?
Well, it's a knockdown. There we go. Tuna salad is injured. Ow, my tuna.
Tuna.
Tuna is a fun word to say.
I think he's hoping he dies because he's IG2 and everything.
Well, that's why he's going on the LOS. Now, you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a salad. Oh, he's gone. I'm glad he didn't hear that. I need to fix his label. It's in the wrong spot. That should be better. Why do we have a black screen? There we go. It's fixed. So now we get to go to Stouticus's drive, where the vampires are actually looking pretty good, having gone 1-0 up. You know, they've got all their rerolls back because it's a new half. They're still going into this with a full team. They still have 1 bench even, so things are like, and they're on defense now, which is where vampires want to be. So I think they're in a pretty good situation here. You know, if Luminous can turn over Stouticus at some point, it's pretty much game. And by turnover, I mean turnover and score. And Stouticus is probably aiming to play for a tie here, because it's not exactly that difficult for the vampires to 2-turn if the dice go well for them, considering they've got a bunch of movement 7. Deep kick even. And am I the Pink Panther? Deep kick even. Oh, there we go. Peach Cobbler is injured. Isn't that... No, he got KO'd before. Peach Cobbler is taking a beating this game. Oh, here are the injuries. Wow. Ballot. Isn't that the like the like duck egg thing that is popular in the Philippines?
I don't know.
I need to Google that now because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But it's pronounced like balut. Yeah, it's the like the fertilized egg, like that is like sort of there's an embryo in it that is sort of like cooked all together and sold as like a popular street food.
Sounds like I would hate it.
I don't think I would like it either, but it's popular in certain countries.
So is communism.
I guess that's fair.
I mean, I'm just kidding. I'm like, kind of a communist.
Deep down.
I'm definitely a terrible capitalist.
That's fair.
Vamps doing the vamp offense thing and defense thing and being super aggressive.
Yeah, at least Stout.
That is, I think, the good strategy here is to like tie up as much of the Nurgle team as you can.
Yeah, do what we can to separate them and just try to force. Like once the Nurgle get into their big brick of Nurgle, it's going to be a lot harder for the vampires to do something. So now is the opportunity to separate the Nurgle from their ball carrier and just try to put on a bunch of pressure with hypnogazes and high stat blitzes and stuff. But Stouticus not doing what we've seen other Nurgle coaches do against defenses that play like this and actually brought back some players to help defend. It's not a massive defense, like 3 vampires is going to beat that. But it's more than nothing, which we've seen happen before.
Lumi giving up a free 2-die on Kim Jong-un saying, I don't care about my movement up guy. Well, gets the 1 and 9, which is enough to get him down at least. But it is going to make caging up here hard, and also caging up against vampires, not great.
No.
In short.
Yeah, you kind of get multiple blitzes with the sort of hypnogaze thing, and it turns out the weakness of a cage is multiple blitzes.
Ooh, 1-die skull on the vamp.
Could you re-roll it, though, to not turn over? Another really stupid from the beast as well.
The leader thrall, again, showing his extreme value. So this is a pretty easy hit on this ball, I'd say. You don't even need to hypnogaze. You can just walk around, strictly speaking.
I mean, he can also just walk in now, since that hypnogaze did work.
Yes.
Emmanuel Macro, you might as well try it, because Emmanuel Macro now just has a 2-die on the rookie ball carrier with 0 dice other than Bloodlust.
I like 0 dice other than that thing that makes vampires awful. I know what you meant. Like it's true that it's not that big.
It's not that big of a deal because he has to roll it no matter what he does. So it's not like you can not Bloodlust.
Rada dice.
Magnet hands.
Had that happen with a Saurus when I played Rolling Red.
Well, it was like I said it that way because in my mind it is no dice because you have to roll Bloodlust no matter what. So you just kind of pretend it doesn't exist. But I knew if I said no dice, you were going to be like, but there's Bloodlust. So I had to clarify myself. Because I knew you would point it out.
Spoilers, I am pedantic enough that you can never win.
I know. Doesn't matter.
Pedantic and bratty, there's no way out of this.
No, I have to, no matter how I clarify. You'll always be wrong no matter what you say.
Man, this is a Kaz game. 5 Kaz, no current KOs for the Vamps.
They've all come now though. The only Kaz other than there was in the first half, it was 1 Kaz from a bite and then 1 death from Nurgle punching, and then this half has just been Kaz, which is kind of what Stouticus wanted to happen in the first half, right? Like trying to run the vampires out of resources, basically, so they have less options. They're starting to run out of resources now, but they got it sort of everything reset with all their the rerolls into the second half, and they went into the second half with a full team. Uh-oh.
He's fine.
Dim Ilsum.
Ooh, ball blitzes out. I like it.
This is 2 food-themed teams, by the way.
The hero rot are really coming in here.
You mean spin the black cookie? I don't even know what that means. I don't know either. Presumably he didn't...
it is still a free 2-die, but it is a 2-die into a 1-die, so...
It's a 2-die into a 1-die, and where 5 of the scats... Never mind! I was gonna say that it's... I was just... I was gonna... What the fuck? Okay. I was gonna say, it's not about, protecting the ball. Putting it there wasn't about protecting the ball. It was, I am...
agreement.
Yeah, it was I am going to get punched. I might as well have the scatters be relatively good. They're in a bunch of disturbing presence, and they could land on one of my own guys. And then it scattered right to the vampire, and he caught it with a 6 anyway. So it didn't really make a difference because that was in 4
Like
disturbing
Louis'
presence.
bold move of facing up the ball. Falls over though, so we are not going to have a ton of support for this ball. It is strength 5 blodge. Is there a way to get a tackle over here? Not. Oh no, yes. Cannoli, as you are, can 1 GFI hit the ball, which is currently a 1 die, but can easily be made a 2 die. So this is a pretty free 2 die with tackle on the ball. Was there anything Lumi could do about it? No, probably not. He could have hurled. No, he couldn't hurl it because he has blitzing.
Oh, see, that was the question though, Big Chuck, is I wasn't sure if it was one he bought or one that was like a Pokemon, because I've given up on naming my Rotters because like 3/4 of my Rotters just come from other teams, so they'd never fit the theme anyway. So I wasn't sure if it was his or someone else's.
Wait, oh, this is fine. It's still a 2 die.
But I do appreciate the food theme on food theme we've got going on here.
Ooh, Kim Jong-uni finally pays for his basing by being KO'd. This is a lot of commitment though to hit 1 vampire, and now I'm worried what are you gonna do with this ball? Like, you get it over most of the time. You had to use the reroll. You got it down, but what are you gonna do? Pick it up, no reroll on a rookie Pestigore and run to space?
I mean, pick it up on.
I mean, I guess if you could get down, you can get it down to where your players are, but you can't.
I mean, it'd still pick up on a rookie Pestigore and then try to get it away from the movement vampire because he's the most annoying thing. The vampire's not in range, which is good.
But he's going to be in range next turn.
And the leader thrall is in range now.
Also, the rookie Pestigore is going to space. Oh no, he's not actually. I thought for sure we were going to see a blitz from Emmanuel. So all you have to really do is cover off this wrestle guy. He is the most credible threat here.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. I like this. Stylish.
One more GFI. Pick it up. Damn.
No, doesn't feel like it.
Doesn't want the SPP on the thrall.
No, your leader thrall is supposed to die.
Well, he's supposed to be useful until he dies. I don't think you take leader for the express purpose of killing him.
I mean, given how often Lumi has based him on the Beast of Nurgle, I would disagree.
That's probably fair. Oh boy, this is scary. This is very scary for the Nurgle.
Ooh, dodge does a thing first time, but not the second.
Uh,
Well, I can't do something the second. Ooh, he's through. He does not get the thrall down, though.
oh man.
Do we 4+, 2+, 4+? No, we don't. Okay.
Not without... No, he didn't have the range, right? Any more movement?
Oh, yeah. I mean, actually, I don't know about scattering this ball, yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Oof.
Oh,
Oof.
man. I don't know. This is...
2-1-2. Good sequence.
Yeah.
2-1-2-6.
This is really scary, because this is pretty easy for the vampires to just get a hold of. Right now it's...
Well, I mean, they're not going to get the chance, I don't think.
The vampires are not going to get a chance?
Oh, sorry. You mean... I thought you were saying the Nurgle can get a hold of this. Yeah, this is obviously terrible for the Nurgle, and the Vamps are very much going to score decent.
I feel like I would have attempted to pick up with the Pestigore. Just like, I know it's very easy for the Vamps to get it off me, but it's very easy for them to get it off the ground. And at least if it's on me, maybe a double skull happens, or I could stand in the end zone and like maybe the ball scatters somewhere else. Like, I feel like maybe I would have tried to pick up with that Pestigore.
Yeah, I mean the downside, of course, is that it's a 2+, 4+, and if you fail it, you lose a tackle zone on the ball.
Yeah, but the tackle zones on the ball are like almost irrelevant with Hypnogaze and vampires around. Like, they almost don't mean anything.
You do theoretically fail Hypnogazes. I don't want to like spoil this for the first time you play vampires, but
I have played vampires several times.
Really? I've only played it twice. One time I diced goblins, and the next time I got utterly crushed by Gengar.
Like, Poetic played vampires in our div in a div I was in for a while.
Oh, I meant played as vampires.
Oh, not as vampires. Played against vampires. Yeah.
No, I remember playing vampires. I remember playing Poetic.
Like even like it's even if the hypnogaze doesn't work, you also have a blitz, which is pretty likely to work, and that takes off at least one of the 2 tackle zones, and now it's just a 3+ for the vampires. With the reroll is your normal pickup.
Nice for the Nurgle.
Yeah, they need it if they want to win. Another deep kick.
I mean, 3 turning with no reroll is a lot harder than 4 turning with no reroll. So.
Yeah, I think I would have tried to pick up there. Like, I don't know if it would. It could theoretically get worse, but the like success state is better enough than the failure state gets worse to justify it in my mind. That was a very terrible sentence, but I hope you understand what I mean.
It was a fucking nightmare.
I have a very hard time turning my brain thoughts into mouth words. Which is
We've not seen a single foul from Staticus, I must say.
It's probably a bad, like attribute for a person who casts a lot to have, but it's certainly a thing that exists, so deal with it.
Did you say attribute instead of attribute?
Yes.
Excellent.
See what I mean?
All Staticus wants is to score on this damn Pestigore. Game's over, but will Lumi let him have his fun?
Probably not. Punch the dirty player. No fouls. No fouls. Got him.
Tentacles does a thing. Remember that huge bench the Vamps had going into this?
They don't have it anymore. Good thing they had the huge bench.
Beast of Nurgle getting potentially some more SVP here he doesn't need.
I mean, he would like to get block.
Yeah, well, wouldn't we all?
Like, you personally want block? I don't know if you can get skills that come from a video game.
That is the real rub.
I mean, I could paint like a blue fist on you if you want.
Ooh, dub skull from Stout, but he played it pretty safe. This ball is a little hittable.
A little? Also, I think you're a bit ahead. There's the dub skull right now. But the ball is pretty much always a little hittable when you're playing against vampires.
I mean, it was a 75% 2-die into a 2-die on the ball. So
I would like to
it was a frenzy drop, though.
I would like to point out that he rolled double skulls and then double ones on the armor. So that would have been quad skulls if he had a reroll.
Oh, Nurgle do have magnet hands, though.
Oh, I'm about to see the magnet hands. There's the knockdown, and he catches it. Like, Nuffle just doesn't want that Pestigore to score. It's like, here, you take the ball. You take the ball. As long as it's not in the hands of this Pestigore, it's fine. But that's the third instance of magnet hands like this game.
And then Lumi rolled 1 on a Bloodlust, 2 on a Pro, 1 on a Hypnogaze, 12 on an injury into a Cas.
Yep.
So, well, it was always a Cas, of course, but
High variance.
yeah.
I'm just gonna Hypnogaze the ball carrier, I guess. Have we seen the Hypnogaze not work?
It just didn't work right there. Quite a few of them have not worked.
Oh, okay. I'm just survivorship biasing this. Or confirmation biasing it, however you want to treat that. Oh, well, Dimil's son got better.
He did. He didn't need to get better, but he got better.
He's safe for now.
How many 6s in a row was that? It was, well, it skipped one. It was a 12 on the injury, a 35 on the casualty, but if we don't count that, then it was a 6 on the Bloodlust, a 6 on the dodge, and a 6 on the GFI. So 5.
you don't count the
Not the
cows,
craziest
yeah.
thing I've ever seen. Interesting. Elects to dodge.
And it turns out
I thought for sure he'd take the hit.
most of those things didn't require 6s. So, like, you know, it's...
Yeah, I got into a talk with someone in the rookie league at some point about this, where like they were like, I kept dub sculling, and then I like looked at their game, and they were playing like rookie lizards, and they did dub skull a bunch, but they were effectively 1-9s, right? Because there was
no block.
there's no distinction between a dub skull and double both down in terms of the failure state. Well, there is, but not in terms of like you turning over.
Yeah.
So I like had to have like conversation where I was like, "You're like technically right, but it just doesn't matter." Like,
Exactly. Oh, that's my favorite. It's like, yes, technically you're correct, but it's entirely irrelevant and no one cares. Like, is like my response to what
1-9, even if you rolled double ones, you still 1-9.
Yeah.
The Nurgle score.
Well, they're going to. They haven't on my screen yet.
Making this 2-1, and that's going to be the last. I think that's going to be the last touchdown of this game.
Well, I mean, the vampires could theoretically one turn, but I don't really like the chances of it because they don't have a full team. They do have move in 7.
Yes, I don't think it's technically possible, and I don't think Lumi would risk GFIs and dodges.
I think it's technically possible. I don't think Lumi would do it, and it's also very hard. That Minotaur was in the stairs. Like, he just waist deep in stairs in the crowd.
I did see that on this stream.
I think it's technically possible because he's got movement 7 and frenzy, but I think it's functionally impossible because of all the like stand firm and disturbing presence, and also the like it doesn't matter. So why would you bother trying? But I think it's technically possible. Once again, my favorite counter argument is no one cares. It doesn't matter, but it is technically possible. We'll just aim for some LOS blocks.
Technically possible is the best kind of possible. The touchback might have made it more likely.
We'll aim for some blocks and a vanity pass on the movement vamp because he has 10 of 16, so a vanity pass puts him in MVP range. Oh, that's a touchback. Well, let's see if we get any removals on these rotters.
What I would really like, given that the first Bloodlust is being rolled now, is Vamps to come out of... Yep. Vamps to come out of LOS blocks with more removals for their own team than the enemy. That's like some classic Vamp shit right there.
Well, we're about to find out. Here's the bite. Yep, Crab Blue is injured. So far, we are one removal for the Vamps and none on the Nurgle. We have a chance of evening it up. Nope, wrestle. Okay, one more try. Come on, Vamps, you can do it. Another Bloodlust. Well, I think I know what's happening, considering you just laughed. No removal. Okay, so the Vamps are going to end this with more casualties than the Nurgle took on this LOS. Here's another bite. And... there's a KO. Yeah, remove 2 of your own players. Oh, man.
And none of the opponents. Nice.
Well, here comes the
just Vamp thing.
The vanity pass. We'll see. Nope. No vanity pass for you. Oh, we'll re-roll it. There we go. That puts him in MVP range if he happens to grab it to level, which is nice. Nope. Demille Sum took it, unfortunately.
I mean, it's still a Vamp, I guess, but yeah.
That's true. Better than a Thrall. Man,
better than that Rotter.
It always astounds me to see how many dice that vampires roll in a game. Like, just looking at the dice log, it's like, I rolled 51 ones. Like, that's
57 Bloodlusts, yeah. I mean, the Bloodlusts were very kind to him that game, that's for sure.
Well, 87% is, like, pretty much on point for a 1 in 6.
That is above average.
Yes, but not
much. And Pro got rid of most of them, so he suffered very few Bloodlusts. And also, it's worth noting 2 of those failures were on the very last turn when it didn't matter.
Well, that's what I was going to say, right? Like,
he was definitely above 90%.
Yeah, it's they're not terribly far off average, like they're above average, but pro saved most of them, and almost all of them came at the end when it didn't matter anyway. So like something that I've been saying for forever when casting games is like the dice log is kind of bad to look at because it doesn't really tell you the story. It doesn't really matter that your opponent got a ton of Kaz's. It mattered when they got a ton of Kaz's, right? Same thing with stuff like Bloodlust. Yeah, but it just always astounds me, like just to see the number of d6 that you have to roll. But when you roll, 57 Bloodlusts, that's 57 dice instantly, which is more than like I'll roll in a normal game, like as like a Nurgle team. It's very silly. Anyway, that's the result of that game. So I will bring up REBBL.net instead because it's a bit easier to look at, it turns out. Hopefully we have the right view up. I think we do. And
that's right.
And we can and almost all of them came at the end, and the ones that didn't come at the end were all pro'd successfully. So let's look at the other matches from Div 1, shall we?
Sounds good.
Okay, so we had the Rat Bastards and Beard to Death Toast Guy versus Larkstar. So I predicted Norse, and I think you predicted Norse here, because we just expected the Norse to kind of punch rats to death, and the rats didn't have all of their like regular players. They're missing quite a few gutters for this game, and that did happen. There's a lot of injuries. 28 armor breaks that the rats took into 7 KOs and 7 Kaz is probably a pitch clear at some point, but it turns out that maybe it came too late or after the rats had already scored, and we only managed to tie it for Larkstar instead of a win. Any bad injuries? Movement on the kick line rat doesn't matter too much. Badly hurt on everything else. Missed next game on one of the blitzers. So that could have been certainly way worse for the rats. Movement bust on a regular lineman for the Norse. So all in all, I think the rats got out of that one pretty good, getting a tie and not dying, considering what their team was going into this game.
But Jesus, 34 blocks into 26 breaks.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yep.
Yikes.
And we had Volcano, Mongoose is Loose, and Broken Bone Battalion Super Base. I believe you took Volcano, and so did I. We both did, actually. And
well, you told us we were wrong on everything, so I haven't bothered to check. I just assumed that I lost points on every match.
Yes. If it wasn't a tie, I was wrong on every match, and you were right on the Luminous one, because that's the only one that we predicted differently. So we did very badly in Div 1 this week. Very badly. So
Super Base did get the crap kicked out of him, but managed to win despite it.
Yeah, and I think I did say this during the stream, is that Mongoose has admitted has admitted himself before that he had a very super kill heavy Chorf team, and kind of ended up relying on it a little too much. Like he played for a bit assuming he was going to get removals, like kind of fell into bad habits, and it often worked because he just had the players to do it. And so sometimes when the removals, like he could rely on that a bit too much, and that can be taken advantage of, especially by somebody with movement and agi. So I imagine that's what happened. Like it's Super Base wins, but it costs him a lot because he's going to get punched to death.
Yeah, in terms of perms, only really a dead lino and a niggled catcher who just had blocks, so not the end of the world.
Everything else is badly hurt or on loners anyway. Just a badly hurt on a hobgoblin, but yeah, like that's armor breaks. 22 armor breaks, 5 KOs and 7 Kaz for the elves. They won. It cost them a lot, and the Chorfs managed to score twice. So like, pretty high scoring game.
It might have been an interesting one to watch as well.
That's true. Maybe we should have checked that one out.
We watched Div 2 last week.
This is Div 1.
Oh, it is Div 1, isn't it?
Yes.
We should have watched that one because we told Super Base we owed him like a game where he shined. So
probably should have.
We
anyway, we had Clicheos and Dreams of Golden Stream, Superfed and Big Chuck. I believe last week we both said if we could predict a tie here, we would.
Yes, I said this game had serious tie energy, and I cursed it. I think Fred was mad about it.
Because here you go. Here's some serious tie energy. I predicted Superfed. We both predicted Superfed, but we both were like, this is probably a tie. And it was 2-2, which is a high scoring tie for like a chaos team. Certainly, you see a lot of 1-1s.
Fed types I was a 2+ from winning in 3-2.
There is going to be some explanation. So let's see. The
did only take one KAZ. It's true. It was not a killing game. A lot of KOs sustained for the rats, but not a lot of permanent.
Yeah, seven KOs and only one KAZ, and that one KAZ was
there. It is. Single snake cost me the win. Thank you, buddy.
Nailed it. And there's the only casualty was a dead. Sorry, and it was on a rookie rat. So who cares? And then we did get a couple good levels for Chuck, though, which is nice. So you can't be too upset with this game. Tying one of the top teams in the div is a good thing for standings and points, certainly. And you got 2 levels out of it. So one
on 2 players that really, really, really needed the level.
Yeah, so level on the warrior, the rookie warrior. So he's probably going to get block. Maybe Mighty Blow for feeling spicy, but probably block. And then read between the lines, the ball carrying beastman. Got strength. He's also probably going to get block unless he's rolled like doubles or something. But he's going to be a nightmare of a ball carrier like by the end of the season, I would imagine. I'm really curious. I need to see what that beast has taken. Yeah, just block. Nothing spicy, but that's so much more annoying. Block strength
on a double. I mean, on a double, you'd be tempted to go dodge, but I think you'd just be cursing him to never level again before he dies.
Yeah, I mean, it's you have to make that like long game versus right now decision, right? Like, because right now,
or like, but even like long game, like, will he ever, like, what are the odds he makes it to block if you give him dodge?
I feel like pretty good because he's a ball carrier, so he's going to be protected a lot of the time and also get a lot of touchdown, like a lot of SPP.
You play too much Nurgle, I think. Chaos often do not have the luxury of protected players. It's not quite the same thing. Like you protect your killer, and that's fine, and you do what you can to protect your warriors, but at the end of the day, your beastmen, especially your like non-killer beastmen, get exposed to stuff. Like you just, yeah, it's block on both. That's what we kind of figured, but like it's not quite the Nurgle thing where you've got like this like a blade of armor of rotters. Like you just like that's true. The problem with beastmen is that they're too good and they're too expensive, so you end up like having to
but if anything is not going to be exposed, it's the guy who, like, less on average, it's the guy with the ball, right? Like that's kind of how you play the game of Blood Bowl, is try to protect the player who has the ball. So he's, I think, slightly less likely to be exposed than other beastmen, if that's not a fair statement.
Yes.
So I think you do. I think the question is like the long game. Like, do I care about winning right now, or am I willing to like probably lose a game on average over the next couple games because I don't have block right now? But the question is irrelevant because apparently he just rolled normals, but.
It's true. And then we have a total bash fest between humans and high elves.
Yeah. Let's see. You predicted the not for science.
Exactly. Like in an ideal world, he's benched half the game, but chaos very rarely live in that ideal world.
We both predicted not for science because we've been burned so many times by not predicting not for science. And well, and
also because he's kind of has a human team without the burden of Agi 3 mostly. So.
Yeah, and we did say at the start of the season that B-Dog had a team that was like super, like it was pretty good against elf teams in general. But he was.
Would you like to hear something else that's pretty good? Rolling 0 KOs and 1 KAZ on 14 blocks or 14 breaks.
Oh wow, that's pretty good. So
humans only got stunned and got 9 removals on 14 breaks in return, or 17 breaks in return.
Lord Nathaniel Marr not doing his job this game.
He did get the only KAZ, because that's just what he does.
There are 2 KAZ.
But not for the... Oh. It doesn't show up in the... Oh, no, it's just KAZ sustained, I see. So it's either a foul or a failed dodge. Yeah.
But we did... So maybe we should have trusted our earlier season instincts and gone with the team that we thought was good against elves, but... oh well.
No, I mean, I think this probably would be a different story if Nathaniel Mar had kept up even a little bit. But yeah, it looks like the elves just got utterly pitch cleared.
Yeah, there was 6 KOs to 4 Kaz.
The one turner got badly hurt.
Oh yeah.
So that could be a failed one turn attempt for sure.
Yeah, well, with the one turner going out is makes the quote guaranteed tie that people talk about with one turners a lot, just not on the table anymore. So that squarely throws a huge advantage to the humans, and whoever plays not for science next week. Oh no, that's just badly hurt, right? Yeah.
I mean, it did eat into his bench because he lost. He's going to be down his guard block Lino, and he's down his other rookie Lino. So bad game for Not for Science, but a great one for B-Dog.
And then Dazed and Confused, which is Acropolis, and Scooby and the Gang, Travel Scrabble. We both predict Scooby and the Gang, and we were both wrong again, like we were with everything this week.
Not a lot of removals this game. I mean, a decent amount of KOs on both sides, so you can't say it was really a bash fest in that sense. They both punched the crap out of each other, 52 to 58.
And just
Scooby and the Gang
no removals.
16 breaks and 14 breaks into a bunch of KOs and some Kaz, but one of them got better, and one of them was a badly hurt and a zombie.
This is this. I would expect this out of a Nurgle mirror. Almost every Nurgle mirror I've played, except for the one against Stacy 2 weeks ago where my team died, is the
Stacy has the murder mitts. That's one.
I have 2 Nurgle warriors for a while. Anyway, but you get this right where one team beats up the other team, but it just regens all of them or they're all KOs, and then it happens again the other side, and everybody is sad because no Nurgle players died. But you still did a lot of blocks and removals. This looks exactly like that, except it's a Necro team. So not a whole lot of player swings. We were kind of assuming that Muttley would get a lot done in this type of matchup, but didn't manage to get anything done, it seems. The one TD coming from a Nurgle warrior, so I want to know what the hell happened in this game.
I want to know.
It seems very it would be very messy all game, just considering that
this would have been another good one to watch, I think, because I bet it was just an utter shit show.
Yeah, it seems like it was, considering one TD for the whole game and it came on a Nurgle warrior. Luminous and Steticus we watched, so I won't click that.
Rage Dwarf versus Voltrex Vanguard, so Unseen Walker versus Ramesset. I think we said Unseen Walker, and he lost.
We did debate it pretty heavily because we thought it could have gone one of those games that could have gone either way, and we both ended up settling on just the sort of dwarves because of dwarf anti-elf bias, I guess. But the dwarves did not manage to take it. They did manage to hurt some things, but nothing important.
Yeah. And Ramesset managed to get 2 removals that were very important, obviously. One on the runner, the backbone of the Agi game for the dwarves there, and one on Waldorf, one of the diving tackle.
Pretty
big. Not bad.
Yeah, pretty big removals. And just the runner, regardless, because that's very one of 2 players that actually has reasonable movement on the dwarf team. So that's a huge deal.
It looks like Mighty Blow might have not been popping, given that there are 42 blocks on a team that, there's a good amount of dodge or block rather. Most of the players have block, but 42 blocks into 15 breaks on a team that is mostly Mighty Blow spam seems a little low. And then of those 15 breaks, only getting 1 KO and 3 Kaz. It just looks like the dwarfs were a little pillow-fisted today.
Grandmaster Dorf, the Blitzer, getting a level. I watched Unseen Walker stream some of this, actually. I remember Grandmaster Dorf getting leveled. It was a bit of a tight thing.
8 SP.
He had to roll a bunch of dice and kind of hope to get the touchdown there, and it worked. So it worked out.
Do you take Mighty Blow? Do you just fully commit to
he took Mighty Blow.
Didn't track against strength. Yeah, that's... to be fair.
Got a really good 2-turn TD and then lost to the Wizard. Couldn't deal with all of the things.
Strength 4 leap, Eldril, and the Wizard, as Fed said. That's a hell of a combo.
You already have Master Dwarf with tackle. You don't need another slightly more mobile tackle. Plus you also have Swift Dwarf. I think Mighty Blow is the right choice there.
Swift Dwarf and Hellsdorf. The runner.
Yeah.
All of the really fast pieces have tackle. So
it's probably okay to skip it on one of them.
If it's sacking you're looking for, you've got good options. If it's damage, you've got Master Dwarf. Or I mean, yeah. So yeah, you're definitely just.
I remember that. I was watching the stream. He accidentally dodged with the Longbeard when he had no reroll while trying to attempt his 2-turn. He's like, "Oh, I'll just take this guy and move him here to make that a 2-die." Oh, damn it, that was a dodge, right? Like, and but he made it.
You make 100% of the dodges you don't intend to.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with diving tackle. Like, oh, I forgot about diving tackle. It doesn't matter as long as you forget about it. You'll be fine.
All right, shall we predict week 6 now that we are utter failures?
I'm going to look. I'll look at the result or the standings first. So we've got Superfed suffering his first non-win. So he's
God, it's really tough out there. For
I know
him,
it's top of the div with 13 points. Luminous is only 1 win behind with 10, and then B-Dog, Stouticus, and Toast Guy round out the top 5 with 9, 8, and 8. So they're pretty close to taking that second spot from Luminous, but Superfed is up at least 1 win on his closest rival.
I wonder what Fed's Super Bowl chances are even at this point in the season.
I think 0. Because he's going to be cursed by it's the same thing, right? We're gonna get to week 9, and then his whole team is gonna die, and then he's not gonna have a team anymore, so he won't win the Super Bowl. That's how it works every season. He does really well until about week 9, and then his team dies, and then he starts over.
I don't think you can curse him though. I think I have to do it. I don't know if you have the power.
That's true. So
no one ever is like, Steak, don't curse me.
I mean, that's true. I don't think anybody's ever said that.
You're too nice.
Nobody. I think the answer is more people don't care about my opinions.
No. When you say it, there's this undertone of gosh, I hope that doesn't happen to you. When I say it, I want it to happen.
That's fair. And then so we have, and then it's pretty close, right? I mean, we're still only 5 weeks in, but Mongoose is loose. Big Chuck, Lark Star, Enough for Science, and Acropolis are all 1 win off of 3rd place. They're 1 win behind 3rd place. So our top 5 could easily rotate pretty quickly over the next few weeks. But Superfed has got a pretty good shot of remaining in the top 5 as of now, being at the top of the table. Oops, I didn't mean to go back. I meant to go forward. We can look at the result or predict next week.
Yeah.
So we have Toast Guy versus Not for Science.
That's a spicy one.
1520 Rats versus 1920 High Elves. So the Rats get 400k.
But they're down one of their killers.
They're down one of the blitzers, yeah, but they have their gutters back for this one. They're missing their gutters for the last game, which is what the problem was.
Yeah, but they're all armor 6.
Oh man.
So they're kind of vulnerable to Lord Mythic. Yeah. They don't have a 1-turner, but they do have all of the rad inducements in the world.
And they do have the sort of wrestle strip ball versus a team that does not have the best defenses against wrestle strip ball, namely no sure hands or guard cages or anything. So it's not easy to defend against the rat gutter runner nonsense play as elves always, because you don't necessarily have you can recover from it. You can, run away, but you don't really have the explicit defense against it always. He doesn't have sure hands, does he? Oh, he does on the thrower. He has sure hands on the thrower. Forgot about that. I didn't see the thrower.
Really? You think it favors this guy that hard? I don't think it does.
I didn't see the thrower. I forgot he had sure hands. Yeah, I mean, he has guard, but he's not going to walk up the field in a guard corner cage like a bash team would. You almost never see that from elves, and not for Science.
Well, Not for Science does kind of play like a bash. But,
that's true.
No, I mean, you are going to see the elves absolutely be the aggressive ones.
I think so too. We do have the 1-turner back for this one, but we don't have a bench, and we don't have a way of getting a bench because we're up in TV. So that's he's going to be on the field from turn 1 and exposed, which is a little bit scary.
What do you think, Rats or High Elves?
I
think this one's a little tougher.
I think it's not easy. In my mind, I want to say my first reaction is to say High Elves, but I need to think about the rat inducements because that's a real thing that'll happen.
I think I want to go Rats, so you should go High Elves so I can go Rats. I think the I mean,
no,
yeah,
I like rats just because of the inducements, basically. If they, like, you know, we're getting no bench for the high elves, we'll probably get a removal or two from the rats, plus we get to pick up like Glart or, you know, a wizard and that kind of stuff. It's pretty likely that we can use those inducements really well.
Right. Are you going rats? Then I will go high.
Okay.
Bait switch.
Then we have Dreams of Golden Streams from Superfed.
Oh, I see. I didn't do any better in Div 2.
No, you did not. I gained 1 point in Div 2 this week, and I lost 5 in Div 1. So,
yeah, I mean, my sum is -6 for the week. So.
Yeah, mine is not much better. -4. It wasn't a good week.
Dreams of Golden Streams versus Scooby and the Gang.
1610 versus 1880. So the rats
got all of his important rats.
Yep, and a wizard.
Yeah, I mean that does. I mean, Necro are very tough for Skaven. Mudley Jr. is a fucking terror.
Mudley 3 is also a terror. Less so now that he's movement busted, but he's still a terror.
Yeah, the movement is the biggest thing when you're playing against Necro as rats. Like, it's just like it's very hard to do the usual like screen off.
I'm over here and you can't reach me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Neener.
Yeah.
Like you just don't have that option.
You literally can't do anything about this because I ran all the way over here.
But it's fed with a wizard, so and it's still mid-season, so I think
it's fed with a wizard, so and mid-season, so he's going to fail the wizard but win the game anyway. Right? Like that's what we're saying.
Yeah, but I think this will be a harder one. I wouldn't be surprised to see him lose here.
Yeah, me either.
Do you wanna back Travel Scrabble? So only one of us can lose a lot of points this week?
I mean, no. Like, I think it's very winnable for Travel Scrabble, but given that this is a game where I'm trying to get points, I think that I will take Dreams of Golden Streams as well.
Then the Broken Bone Battalion versus Grungy Desserts. Pro Elves taking on 2340
600 TV in inducements.
Yeah, Wizard. I mean, you can get the whole shebang, kind of like Ramazet had.
He's got all positionals, right? His whole team is the positionals. He's like, this is a rat elf team right now. 2 blitzers, 3 catchers, a thrower, and nothing else.
I mean, it's got too many positionals to be a T-Self team, but it's definitely approaching T-Self team. I think all Pro Elf teams converge towards a T-Self team in Div 1.
Yeah. Well, the Nurgle have 3 tackle. They've got Donut and a hole back for this one, which is a big deal.
Yep, and they've got their new Pokemon, to bring them out to 16 fucking players.
Bombaloni. Here he is. Yeah, 16 players. I mean, like, you can, like, do I fire a Nurgle or a Pest Rotter? Words are hard. Do I fire a Rotter?
Yeah, you
no.
probably fire the Niggled one.
I mean, it doesn't make a difference though, really. Like, in reality, yeah, you probably fire the Niggled Rotter at some point, but like, does taking your opponent from 640,000 in inducements to 600,000 in inducements make a difference? And the answer is no. Like, not really.
Yeah. Anyway, I like the Pro Elves here. It's a lot of work to. It's gonna be like just so many valuable inducements, and the TV is very efficient for the Pro Elves, and it's not very efficient for the Nurgle. Yeah. I mean, the Nurgle might just totally steamroll them, like that's always an option. But
yeah, I don't know. Like, I very much agree with you in that, like, the Pro Elves have all the, like, their whole team is just blodging stats, right? And like, that's just so annoying for the Nurgle to deal with. Like, I wouldn't like my chances as a Nurgle team versus this Elf team, especially with that many inducements. But I don't know, something in my heart says Staticus, so, you know, I'll take it. Sure, we'll listen to the gut for once. And then we have Beard to Death versus the Voltrex Vanguard, Larkstar and Ramazet.
Ramazet getting exactly a wizard.
It certainly does, Ramazet. I say that all the time. Like, Nurgle do not care about the other team having Agi. What they care about is the other team having movement. Beard to Death is 1730, and the High Elves are 1580. So yeah, wizard.
Only one bench for the
Although
Norse.
the Norse have 20k above, so we're actually at like 130 if the Norse drop that 20k.
Remised probably commits the bank to that.
If he has bank, does he have bank? He does, yeah. So probably, I would say he does. Good amount of tackle on that Norse team, certainly.
Norse are good for that. Yeah, they tend to have a lot of tackle on their lineups.
One bench for the Norse. They do have the sure hands like leap runner. A couple mighty blow. Only one or two of the mighty blow are attached to tackle. Is a thing that should be considered here.
Yeah, but like you're always going to make sure that horseshoe haste is available.
And Ramiset has got. Ramiset
doesn't have that much dodge. He's only got 4.
That's true. So the tackle is not as relevant. What is relevant is double guard, and the strength catcher and the agi lineman. Like those are all pretty important bits here. The strength is going to be annoying to take down. Double guard means that we can do some work with that leap strength 4, and agi for recovering.
Even with the bolt, I'm leaning Norse, but like not very hard. I think like a little bit I'm leaning Norse.
Oops, I didn't mean to back out of that. I don't know.
I love cursing Larkstar.
That's fair. Yeah, I think well, so if he takes a wizard, he's not going to have a bench is one thing, and there's a decent amount of mighty blow and not that much blod, like actual dodge, where the mighty blow not being attached to tackle will make a difference. Yeah, I'm like ever so slightly leaning Larkstar, I think, but not by very much. Larkstar has proven to me this season, though, that he is very good at like being the favored team and somehow turning it into a tie anyway. However, that has happened like 2 or 3 times this season. So I don't know, but like on paper, I think I like the Norse. And then we have the dwarf Chorfoff. That's fun. We have Mongoose and Unseen Walker. So Unseen Walker, he's not missing anything from the last game, right? He's still got his full complement of 12 players. He does have an armor 7 dwarf, which I think is hilarious. An armor 7 niggle dwarf. The strength 5 troll slayer is pretty big in this. The agi, the 2 runners are really big in this as well. But you know what else is really big against dwarves? That is other dwarves that have claw mighty blow.
Yeah, but they're gonna be really a muscle.
That's true.
Like that's my problem.
The 3 guard, 4 and 5.
Unless he starts immediately removing Unseen Walker, which has been the Unseen Walker approach to games lately. Yeah, I mean I love that Altdorf exists. Strength 4 niggle agi bust double.
It's armor 7. It's an armor 7 niggled agi 1 dwarf.
Your claw does nothing.
Yeah, count. It's a hard counter to claw. Armor 7. Yeah, he's gonna be like outguarded now. Like in the sort of scrum that's going to happen in the middle, he's going to be out. He's going to be bullied. But it's going to be pretty easy if the snowball starts happening. It'll be very hard for Unseen Walker very quickly, I think. But unless that happens, it'll be difficult for the Chorfs. Chorfs do have a bench, and they do have some inducements though. Like 300k is not trivial.
No, Chorf inducements aren't amazing.
No,
you might see them get. There you go.
Altdorf gets to die on the line this week. I'm gonna support my friend Unseen Walker, and I will take Ragedorf. What?
I'll give it to the filthy Chorfs on the basis that Claw is cheap.
That's true. I'm just sort of praying that the claw doesn't pop like very early, and if it doesn't, I think all the guard and stuff is going to make it hard.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't know that this is actually Chorf favored, but I'll roll the dice. Luminous versus Big Chuck. I think Luminous.
I don't know.
You know who's better at beating vampires than Chaos? REBBL.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Lumi's just been saving up all of his bloodlusts, and he's gonna have to roll them all this game. But
I'm literally going to flip a coin on the other monitor and just take whatever result. I'm not. I don't think I can effectively predict Luminous games anymore.
I think I can. I take Luminous every time, and I win 75-80% of the time.
But like if he ever has a match where he doesn't, like, if the vampires just don't work, it's going to be like a hilarious collapse.
You know, Robbie's not even that killy at this stage. He keeps having blockers die. Yeah. His team barely exists, I think, these days.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're down to 2 bench for the Vamps versus like the 4 that they had versus the Nurgle. But they do get 180. Yeah, so a wizard. Yeah.
Wizard Vamp, probably.
Vamps with a wizard.
Vamps with a wizard.
I'm gonna take Luminous and then hate myself when I'm wrong.
Wow. All right, finally, Bogue Bombers versus Dazed and Confused. A 2000 TV human team versus a 1700 Nurgle team. What is this planet? I would like to.
I have a 1400 Nurgle team in REL 2, if that makes you feel better. No.
Nothing.
It makes me feel very sad.
Okay, well, this is interesting. The Nurgle team is pretty lean and mean, and will actually, I think, be paired pretty well against these humans in terms of the bash game.
Yeah, the Nurgle warriors are going to do.
That's about where the good news ends. Your Nurgle getting inducements, which is never a good sign.
No.
You do not have a bench, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, you do. You have 2-player bench. So that's pretty good. Humans have a 2-player bench as well, and dirty player. Not that you want to do a ton of fouling against Nurgle.
5 dodge, couple tackle. Humans have shown, like, B-Dog has certainly shown that he knows how to play these humans. And
yeah, and 5 dodge versus no mighty blow tackle. I almost want to give this to the humans, like almost. I think I will, but only because I like the pain of loss.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to come down to, can those Nurgle warriors get some stuff done on the LOS, right? They're going to get some lineman hits, and then if those go well, they can start like marking up those blitzers, because like these blitzers are so important to this human team. And if, you know, one of them goes out, 2 of them go out, even if just like to KOs or whatever, it's going to something really difficult.
The humans are going to have a lot of maneuverability advantage, simply because the Nurgle are not going to be able to commit their tackle to pinning down dodge players. So sure, the Beast is going to be a thing, but the Beast doesn't have block, and he's got strength and a war scan for him, so he's just going to get red.
Yeah, well, like I think what it comes down to for me is just the movement, right? Like the 2 catchers, one being movement 9, is going to be super annoying, frankly, for the Nurgle to try to pin down.
I know, Simon. This is the weirdest game. I'm like, I'm gonna be tempted to watch.
I'm gonna take the humans. I'm taking the humans.
Yeah, I am too. I don't think it's even a bold pick.
I think the movement is the bit that would annoy me the most as a Nurgle coach.
I mean, that human team does everything better than the Nurgle, other than be strong and have claws. But like, it's not as a big of a deal in this case. Because they're not really like they're outguarded. They're definitely out movemented.
So let's go to
and like they're not going to be able to put them down.
Let's go to A. Solo Dragon's Fire versus Ye Old Guard, Yayo, and Marvelous Creatures. I don't know why I said everything in the wrong order, but you know, whatever. We both predicted the Marvelous Creatures here, just because it was like, you know, pretty serious Dark Elf team versus not a whole lot of tools to deal with that. And it ended up being a tie, so you know, no real points there. 43 blocks coming out of the Dark Elves is
Marvelous Creatures getting 5 breaks on those 43 blocks. What the hell?
Yeah, but like, I mean, so they made a ton of blocks for a elf team against a Nurgle team, and then they didn't really result in that much. They took 5 KOs and 4 KAs. They gave out 2 KAs and 1 KO. So like the removal game going in favor of the Nurgle. The Nurgle had the chainsaw. I think we even talked about this last time. Like, what did the Nurgle take? And I was like, you could take the chainsaw. Or someone in chat said chainsaw, I think, and they did. Max Spleen Ripper.
Yep, and he got badly hurt. Welcome to chainsaws. So yeah, but so did the entire elf team. So Well, actually, most of it got MNG'd. So not going to have a lot going into their next game, but Elves are better at that. Then we have Rowdy Rebel Rousers versus Taro Alliance, a game that screamed tie from the get-go and delivered.
I think we both predicted the Rowdy Rebel Rousers, just like, maybe math works out that way.
Blodge Guard Steakdorra. That's a thing. Big oof.
Oof, yeah.
Not the biggest oof on this team. This team has a lot of players you would, definitely prefer to many players you'd rather have this one die than
the Chainsaw is not a particularly good defensive player. Yes, that is correct. I think we predicted the Nurgle here, just like two big bashy teams, probably on average foul appearance and regen does a thing, but it didn't look like it.
No, 4 Kaz outgoing for the Taro Alliance,
3 stuck.
And 3 of them stuck. So, and only 1 coming in from the Nurgle.
Yep, on a Hobgoblin. So,
yeah. So actually, despite getting equal breaks and nearly equal blocks, really the injury dice definitely went Slade's way.
Yeah,
but he's only able to pull a tie out of it. So maybe it'll happen to the Lade. Maybe they failed elegantly at each other while the ball,
the Pestigor being dead is certainly unfortunate, and Bird getting badly hurt makes a big difference for the game. Like, Slade probably could have taken advantage of that fairly well without that crazy sacker available. I know when I played Atomics, I just straight up underestimated Bird and ended up tying what should have been a win because of it. So Bird being out is a pretty big deal that Slade could have ideally taken advantage of. But the Devil doing what we expected, 2 Kaz coming out of the Devil, that blocker. And not much else going on, no levels or anything, but 1-1 tie. Where'd the TD coming from the Bull Centaur, so at least some SPP went that way. He's in MVP range now.
Yep. And then the Lackland Longtongues versus the CR Boys Nashville Nasty, a couple of alliterative teams. Count Dooku, the Saurus, getting a Kaz to level. He will probably take Stand Firm. Dodge if he rolls a double.
I predicted the Lizards, and you predicted the Necro for this one.
Nice.
Finally, a point.
Look, the Lizards just beat the hell out of the Necro. Yeah. No, very few breaks for the Necro. The breaks they did got a couple of removals, but only 3. And then on the other end, 16 removals turned into 5 Kaz. And only 1 of them stuck, actually. So regen was a hell of a thing this game.
Yeah, but it still takes them off the field for the drive, which would have made the drive pretty easy. Yeah. And if that was like the defensive drive, then that just is a 2-1 right there. Or 2-0 right there.
And the 2 Kaz sustained were on Skinks. And the way that Necro win this is by having Claw and removing Saurus. And they didn't do those things. So.
Count Dooku picked up a level. So we've got Break Tank, like a level in...
I mean, they also do it by being fast and being able to hunt down Skinks, but Necro just really good against this one. So.
What do we take on Count Dooku? Considering he's break tackle, I feel like tackle is a good option.
They already said this. It's stand firm or dodge if he rolls a double. You do not take a third tackle on your
yeah, that's fair. Although...
I mean, I guess it would be your only break tackle.
Which is why I considered it.
No, I mean... Issa really shouldn't have tackle, and then maybe you could justify it. Issa should have guard.
He hasn't taken the level yet, as far as I can tell. I think I would have liked to see guard on Issa and then maybe tackle on Count Dooku, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't have hated that. He's also about to level Chakwa, so I wouldn't take break tackle. Or I wouldn't take tackle, because you're about to have a break tackle in the form of this source.
One, yeah.
Because he's 68 out of 76. He's only 8 away, and he's got Mighty Blow, so it won't be that long.
That's true. So stand firm, or if you roll doubles, dodge would be a good option for Blodge Guard, plus the re-rolls for when you do have to make a break tackle. So the only injury really that stuck around going on the Flesh Golem, just a badly hurt. And we got 2 levels for the werewolves, or for the Necro as well, 1 and a wolf. To bring him to legend, we've got a legend, brand new legend, folks. Matchy, legend werewolf. And Thorgrim the Conqueror, the white, picking up a level 2. He's got Agi initially.
He took Dauntless for his legend level because he ran out of useful skills.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you don't get another doubles or whatever for something like, I don't know, Juggernaut, but piling on. Oh yeah,
pilot.
He was a werewolf. I just sort of assumed he already had it. For some reason. Yeah, a double there for piling on would have been incredible, but nope. And Thorgrim couldn't get a nice level out of that as well. But a new legend player is always exciting. And then we had All Stars of Chaos, Ran the Mad, Bring Out Your Undead versus Orcsploitation Cinema, Das Schudenheim. This was a weird one. We talked about this one for a really long time and didn't know what to say. Oh no!
And then
Leork Neeson is dead. He's been around for so long.
Right. I knew this, but
I'm so sad about that.
Shooty losing one of the 2 stars of his team.
I'm so sad about that. Leork Neeson has been around for so long, and I am very sad that he is gone. I think I ended up predicting Bring Out Your Undead for this one, and then you took Orcsploitation Cinema for what it's worth.
Yep, Rand pulling it out here. They both just beat the hell out of each other. Rand got more breaks. They kind of just removed each other in mostly equal measure.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I think Leork Neeson is the big, not only is that sad that he's dead, also he's such a huge part of this particular matchup that I think...
but only one of the Kaz stuck to the Khemri. So the Khemri came out in terms of numbers in the long run, also had an enormous bench. So
yeah, and just not having Leork Neeson for this match is a pretty big swing in favor of the Khemri too. So that probably certainly helped. Especially,
depending on when he died.
Especially if that came early, yeah. But that's sad. Poor Leork Neeson. And look, I'm so happy about this too. Look at those Tomb Guardians. Level 3, level 2, level 2, level 1. Nice spread. We're even only 2 away from getting it on the last Tomb Guardian. We finally have our non-ultra top-heavy Tomb Guardians. It only cost about 6 of them in terms of deaths to get this far.
Instead of, bringing everyone else up, you just knocked down the tall
team.
I
want all the trees to be the same height, so instead of waiting for the small ones to grow, I just cut down the big ones. We have Battle Brothers, Kilrick, and Locust, the All-Stars of Chaos.
Yep. We were asked to watch this, though we had just watched Caloric, and one of the coaches disagreed that it was an interesting game. So All-Stars of Chaos beating the hell out of Caloric, taking 25 breaks into 8 KOs and 3 Kaz. 5 Kaz sustained and 9 KOs. I see why Locust wanted to watch this game.
We did both predict the Bretts on this one. We just thought the Agi would do some good things, but it turns out when your whole team just goes away, you can't really take advantage of it. All the good players are okay though. I mean, we have an MNG on Houndmaster Hobart, which is sad.
No. He's MNG'd on two of his best players, and then he took an armor bust on Witch Hunter because blockers don't get to be alive
on Brett teams in general, but
Caloric's team in particular.
Well, they're okay at least. They'll be out for the next game, which is certainly unfortunate. And the armor bust sucks on the player who's going to go down fairly frequently, I think. But at least they're not dead, and nothing that's worth firing any of them over. So we still have the players available.
Yep, and he'll have inducements for his next game because he is down 350k in 2 players.
Oh man, Griffball. Surefeet Strongarm, which is a fun name, has leveled. So Block Guard on that is currently what's on that Beastman, but he got a TD to level him. We don't have a real ball carrier, but he's guard, so you don't want to do that. Could go stand firm to have a guard stand firm. If you roll doubles, dodge would be nice.
Yeah, stand firm or mighty blow, I think, depending on your chaos flavor.
So it's probably mighty blow.
Probably.
I mean, we all know how Locust plays.
Okay, here we fall versus the Horn of Gorthank, the 1450 chaos team once again not able to pull it out against elves. Dodges a skill. Did manage to armor bust a Blodge Step Catcher, so the elves didn't get out of it free.
We both took fall for this one, by the way.
Yeah, fall almost outblocked the chaos, which I'm not actually surprised about. I think I called when we were calling this. I was like, I feel like the elves are going to do most of the bashing here. Oh no, that was a rookie game. Never mind. But still did most of the bashing, or nearly as much bashing, but almost got no breaks for it. Only 5 breaks on 37 blocks. Chaos only got 11, but they made them count.
Yeah, they got good amount of SPP out of the game at least. Although a bunch of it went to like the one warrior that you don't really want to get more SPP on. You'd rather get some to those beastmen, I think. But I mean, I guess you'll take it where you can.
Yeah, you don't say no to removals. So yeah, not a great game, but not a bad one for the Chaos either. Getting a little bit of development, just not on the right players necessarily. Getting this Beastman closer to level 3 is.
You know what makes me sad is that this Chaos team is higher TV than my Nurgle team now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Nurgle at 1400 have literally nothing.
I'm missing 2 Nurgle warriors, so yes.
Anagram Catastrophe, Uber the Nuber, 3-1 versus Talk Show Terror.
We both actually, you took Talk Show Terror for this one. We both took Talk Show Terror for this one, so we were real wrong.
It's terrible. Blitzer leveling, Gutter Runner with Strength leveling on ATD and Throat Space, wink. Grabbing 4 SPP and probably a 1-turn, given that he has the touchdown there as well. Yeah, I mean, good rat game. Only your Linos got removed other than this Wrestle Gutter Runner.
Yeah, so. Scatters Opa also picking up a level with the MVP, but you don't really care too much about line rats. I mean, just another Wrestle is probably fine for LOS duty.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fouling going around, given that there were 3 Cas going out and 5 Cas sustained for the rats and expulsion on either side.
They also sustained 7 KOs. Like, how do they score three touchdowns without having any players? Oh, wait, they're rats.
Yeah, they're rats. And also maybe good KO rolls, like pretty easy.
I just hate rats.
Talk to Terror leveling 4 position
Oh
rolls.
Man, I mean, not a bad game for either coach. I mean, Anagram Catastrophe and Uber are certainly happier considering they won it. But I wouldn't be too unhappy about leveling 3 or 4 positionals in a game, even if I lost.
That's true.
Yeah, Rookie Werewolf levels up.
Didn't even need the MVP to level too. That's funny.
The white, who's almost a rookie, levels up. Both flesh golems. How often do you see double flesh golem levels in a game? That's a thing.
That's a thing. Yeah, and Brawny Carson, the strength 5 one has leveled to probably get
Ellen Regenerus, the flesh golem, is also the touchdown haver for the Necro. So
I love that it's Ellen Regenerus the third, but Brawny Carson.
Yeah.
You really tempted the fates on that one and
lost, yeah. But so that like screams to me that it was like 2-0 or something, and like Talk Show Terror just like, I don't care, I'm not going to win this game. Try to get the touchdown on the flesh golem, and they did, got a level out of it. So that's a lot of decent levels too, because it's like the rookie level to level 1 on a werewolf is big, just to get block or whatever. The white having just Mighty Blow to like Mighty Blow tackle is a pretty big deal. The strength flesh golem is less super important, but you know, it's fun. And then the level 2 or level 3, I guess, in the other flesh golem to get another guard piece on the stand firm is big as well. So it's a lot of really nice levels.
Yeah, for sure. Shall we look at the leaderboard?
We will. So here we go. We've got Kilrick at the top still. With 401, 12 points, although Slade is at 11, only just behind with a draw instead of a win. Solo Dragon's Fire, we've got 10, tied with Urs and Atomics for 10. So and then very, very, very tight race for the playoff spots here. And, you know, position 1 all the way down to position 6 are separated by 1 win. So very easy for these to swap around as well. Nobody is safe currently. Nobody is safe. But yeah, with Atomic, Super the Nuber, Locust, Rand, Fall, all very close to being able to get into the points or the playoff race.
It's still early yet, but there are people pulling ahead for sure. That loss does stop Caloric from running away with it even more than Fed was running away with it. So
chop him back down to size.
Yeah.
Well, we have Das Schuttenheim and Soul of Dragon's Fire, so Marvelous Creatures and Exploitation Cinema. The Orcs without Leoric Neeson is a sad time.
Yeah, I think Marvelous Creatures probably.
Well, they are missing 2 of their blitzers for this one.
Yes, so they get.
They do. You are right.
I said Marvelous creatures.
I mean, I don't want to like dismiss Shooty instantly, like you did, but I also want to predict marvelous creatures. So I mean, I'm just going to accept that that's what's happening.
Well, you got there in the end, and that's
Yeah.
what matters. Battle Brothers with 1,300 TV versus 1,670 lizards. I think Caloric has got that.
Do you?
Dauntless, like, I think Bretts are really good against lizards. They have Dauntless everywhere. They're like pretty good skink hunters. They have like annoying pieces for lizards to deal with, in that they have a bunch of fend. They've got dirty player. They tend to do like a good amount of like fouling versus
Fend
lizards.
and wrestle, yeah, like both very annoying for Saurus. Like Saurus getting both downs and then getting sent to the floor, like, is just so annoying.
That said, he is down 3 of his best players, so like it's not going to be an easy game. He's only going to have 1 blocker and 3 blitzers, but he is going to have 350k. I was like, he gets Slibbly, and I'm like, no, I'm thinking Kislev.
They're not Kislev.
Someone as Kislev took Slibbly against me when I was playing Lizards, and I felt so betrayed.
Yeah, it's so weird, but it's just because, you know, Kislev are reskinned Slan, because, you know, GW didn't want Slan to really, like, they squatted the Slan, basically. Although you probably don't get that reference. They, like, you know, retconned Slan as a thing that exists. So they didn't want it to really be, like, prominently on display for Blood Bowl, so they just kind of, like, Cyanide sort of reskinned things as Kislev. But they, like, in Blood Bowl lore, the Kislev team was exactly identical, but it was like a Slan team, which is why the bear is identical.
Oh, I did know.
That's why the bear is identical to a Croxagore, because it was a Croxagore on the Slan team. But
anyway, I think Keller.
You know, I think it's gonna be pretty tough for him, but I'm gonna take him as well. I think he's got my faith right now because he's at the top of the table, so that's gonna sway me into predicting for him more frequently.
Yeah, it's the odd numbered seasons. Is it? I don't actually.
It's an even numbered season, but it's
an even numbered season, so Caloric is super powered. That's just how this works.
We had the Rowdy Rebel Rousers from Atomics, and Here We Fall.
2150 Nurgle versus 1550 High Elves. All right, Fall. Time to go shopping.
Yeah.
How has Fall been doing? This is actually tough. Fall, middle of the table. Atomics doing better.
I think. I mean, so there's so many inducements here, like so many. But the thing is, so like there's 4 tackle for the Nurgle, which is a pretty big deal. 2 of them are on Nurgle Warriors, which kind of sucks, but that means that like you can't just put a Blodge player on the LOS and hope that you're not going to get removed, because the tackle Claw Mighty Blow is going to do that. So like I think the removals are actually going to stack up more quickly than you think they would against like a normal sort of blodgy elf team. And Bird is a nightmare, absolute nightmare. So I think I will. I'm gonna go with my Nurgle brother and take Atomics for this one. I think
I will take Fall.
Okay. And Yayo and Uber the Nuber, Yield Guard, Anagram Catastrophe. This is a bit different. So we have 1850 Nurgle with
versus rats that barely get a wizard. Man, I think the rats that barely get a wizard are gonna win probably.
Yeah, I mean me too. The Nurgle do have 2 tackle, and Cosmic is pretty good with Frenzy tackle to add on to that to like really make sure we can knock down the rats. But as I've said a billion times, what Nurgle really hate is speed, and it turns out 4 gutter runners are very fast.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, like I almost never think that Nurgle, like it's the only way Nurgle are like favored versus rats if it's like a 2100 Nurgle team versus rookie rats. Frankly, like rats just are so good against Nurgle.
Yep, and then we have Slade the Black Mage versus Our Name is Legion, Necro versus Chorf, irrespectively.
Irrespectively is a word you don't hear very often.
No, I know. I just like my brain is totally frazzled, so my ability to string even a basic sentence together is flawed.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
I'm like this all the time.
So it was technically correct, but it was a weird way to say it.
So welcome to my world, because that's how I live my life. You're technically correct, but you said it in a very weird way. Is Steakmittens 101.
Yeah. Okay, so all things considered, I think the Chorfs are just going to beat the hell out of the Necro.
Yeah, I mean, so
I don't know if they're going to win, but I think they're going to beat the hell out of the Necro. The Flesh Golem did take Mighty Blow.
He did, and the other one took guard. The Agi or
block, and the white took guard.
Yes. Wait, wasn't there an Agi white? No, he was Mighty Blow. That was a different team.
Yeah, different team.
I'm surprised he didn't take like tackle or piling on there, but I suppose the guard is more important versus the Chorfs, so it may have been like a next game choice versus.
Oh, well, also just you don't usually do piling on.
Oh, right. I'm thinking undead. Yeah. I got undead on the brain.
You need them standing usually.
Yeah, and so on the like normally you'd think this would be okay for the Necro because they have like the speed, they can kind of isolate the Chorf blockers and then run away, especially with sort of like zombies. It's like cool, have my block regen player, like you can punch him all day and I'm not going to be sad. The problem with that playing against Slade's team is that those Chorfs are so ridiculous at just killing things that's not going to tie them up for very long, and then you're going to not have players anymore.
Yep. And then we have the baby team.
Did you
off.
actually predict something?
Yeah, I predicted
I
Carol
didn't hear you say that. I also predicted them.
And then 1590 Necro versus 1450 Chaos. The Chaos might get a wizard in this one. I don't think they want, but they might get it. Yeah, I think I like the Necro.
It's a lot more fair.
One team exists.
Yeah.
And one
I mean,
does not.
so the Chaos Warriors are really good. But that's the problem, is like so much of the TV is tied up in those Chaos Warriors, and you almost want to be a little wider. Like the Beastmen, I keep wanting to call them Pestigors. The Beastmen just don't have anything, and you need to do so much work as Chaos with your Beastmen. Like they have to do the ball carrying, they have to do all the assisting, they have to do the line blocking. Well, not the line blocking, but the line duty. They have to do the blitzing generally. Like, so with so much of your like the Beastmen not having a whole lot of levels. It makes me want to favor the Necro a bit, who can afford to do like the all positional sort of play style way more than Chaos can.
Yep. Agreed. And finally, bring out your undead versus the All Stars of Chaos. 1690 Khemri versus 2000 TV Chaos. Khemri are down a skeleton, but have a pretty full bench. Otherwise, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So two spares versus the Chaos have many.
Yeah.
Because
I think this is where
Locust embraces the bloat. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think this is where the Tomb Guardians not being like fully up to speed is gonna cause the Khemri to suffer quite a bit. There's only 2 guard for the Khemri. They are both on the Tomb Guardians, which is good. 3.
Yeah, there's only 3 for the Chaos, so it's not like this matchup. I think is actually hard for Chaos a lot of the time, but I think that given the tools that Locust has, like he's going to be strength 5 on the blitz for vague ghoul pusher. He only needs 1 assist to like take down a Tomb Guardian every time, and Khemri can't play safe with their Tomb Guardian, so he's just going to be taking Claw Mighty Blow hits.
Like if all of those Tomb Guardians were guard, and you could just kind of slap like 2 pairs of strength 5 guard pieces next to each other, and like on either side of the pitch, and be like, "Come at me, bro." The Chaos would have a hard time getting through that, but considering both of them won't have guard, if they're in like sort of pairs of 2, then you like their Chaos can probably break through. They can get removals with Claw Mighty Blow. I think the Chaos probably have the right tools to make this really hard for the Khemri.
Yep, and that is
it. Is. I will cover your eyes. You have about. I'll give you a countdown before I bring up the blindingly white Google Doc.
It's not dark outside, so I don't think it's going to be quite as violent as we are finishing at 6:30.
Also stream, folks. But 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is our predicting comps current scoreboard. Toast Guy and Chuck have the lead in REL 1 with 8 points. We are.
Man, I suck.
Me too. I'm at -4 in Div 1, which is the like. I think I actually have the worst score in Div 1. I do.
It's been a long time since we had a week.
Yeah, I got literally everything wrong in Div 1 this week, so I went from positive points to negative points in 1 week, which is pretty bad. Superfed was doing really well. He's still up there. He's got 6, behind Toast Guy and Chuck, but certainly up there for that score. In REL 2, I'm currently the like pretty much undisputed winner right now. which is thankful because I'm so bad at REL 1. I need something to balance me out. Yayo and Superfed are also very close, a couple points behind. So Superfed being very close to first in both REL 1 and REL 2 give him the overall lead combined. But Yayo is challenging for that, certainly, and we're not too far off. But what's important is that I'm 1 point ahead of you.
That is the important thing, isn't it? You gotta win the title back.
And Unseen Walker also up there too with 10. But with how swingy this kind of stupid point system we have is, like, this is all super easy to change.
It's a point system.
So, you know, it doesn't really matter until the last week. So this lead by Superfed could be eliminated in like 1 week of bad predictions from him. But so far he's got the
I wonder if it's better for him not to predict.
I mean, probably. Although, if you have a big enough lead, I'm sure he's probably counted that and like done the math to figure out whether it's worth not predicting anymore.
I mean, if you are confident in your picks, then no, like it's always it is beneficial to pick if you think you are picking right.
Oh, but I guarantee you, we'll get to like week 11, and Superfed will be like, if I just don't predict anything and don't lose any points, I'll probably win. And then he'll do that because he's going to try hard the meaningless predicting competition anyway.
Give so much shade for his.
Oh, it's just so funny to poke at. Like, I mean, I don't really care. If you want to try hard, you go ahead. If that's what you find fun, have at her. I'm all about everybody.
Then I kind of get the distinct impression that you do not find tryharding fun.
I don't find tryharding fun. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next Wednesday, ideally, unless there's another French holiday I don't know about. Actually, next Wednesday is Canada Day.
No, this is the thing, right? Saint Jean Baptiste is like the 24th, which is the Fête Nationale for Quebec, and then always a week later is Canada Day. So this is the best time usually to be in like Montreal, like because
parties and stuff,
it's
right?
2 short weeks in a row, and everyone just parties and has a good time. Though Canada Day is just moving day in Montreal.
That's fair, so. Yeah. Here it's a bit.
Very little.
It's a bit more important here than it is in like Quebec, but it's often just the barbecue day or something, like let's have family and like, you know, put meat on a grill sort of like weekend rather than anything actually celebrated. And until next time, I'm in Steakmittens.
And I'm Shadorra, who is trying to work on the other screen.
Well, you can go back to work now because we will see you later, folks.